Democrats. You know, Megan knows, Joe knows, we all know. We all know that you know, but your pride is getting the best of you. And it's a shame, especially if you have children or family members, that you're going to continue to live this lie every day and look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that, you know what, I'm doing things the right way. Deal with it. You have Donald Trump syndrome, and Donald's not going anywhere. And you can lie, cheat, steal, do whatever you want, but we're going to call you out. And we're going to call you out here. We'll call you out wherever we need to. But this is sad. You know as well as I do. And just because local news and national news won't show you the stuff, we do. And that's why we kick ass on Cancel This, because we're about the facts, because we actually care about people. You have no ground, no leg to stand on, no nothing. This is sad. We'll welcome you over. We will. But you're going to have to get rid of your pride first and admit that you're following a failing, losing, abysmal piece of you know what, who's lying to the American public, trying to get this job. Hey guys, welcome to Cancel This, canceltheshow.com. Vic Faust, Megan Marie Moret, Projo in the house over there, taking care of all the technical things that we have going on. It is a Monday, the September 23rd edition. News headlines, politics, cancel culture, education, and everything when it comes to the 2024 election. Trying to keep you awake and alive with everything that's going on. It's only about the facts here. It's not fiction. It's only about the facts. It's not about your feelings. And then, of course, once you have the facts, you have the truth, then you can deal with the feelings after that. Lots to get into today as well. There was a proof of life sighting from Joe Biden again, but once again, just remember all those Democrats who not so long ago, oh, Joe Biden's just great. He's fine. We love him. He's so much better than Donald Trump. Yes, Democrats, you screwed up. Once again, you were lying because you took it hook, line, and sinker. And now because you won't admit that you were wrong, because you have pride, because you have mental illness possibly, I don't know. You won't admit it. Well, we have another sign of Joe Biden just losing it again. I mean, this guy is still running the country, allegedly. He is the person in charge. And of course, everybody's attention is on the election. It's all Trump, Harris, Trump, Harris. People really aren't paying attention to everything else going on. They're just not. It's not, because we get all caught up in everything. We try to cover some of those things, and then people don't watch as much. But we're going to show you what Biden did. Tim Walz. Just what a dumbass. The guy is just oh my God, he's so strange. He is the strangest, weirdest, most lying. We already know he's lying because he's a gay man and he's pretending that he's not. Just be who you are. Stop lying. Why do we say that? Because of all the gay club owners in Minneapolis who said yes, he's gay. These are the guys who've come out and said it. That word is spread out. Just be who you are. But he made a comment over the weekend that the Trump ad quickly turned into a brilliant campaign ad. We're going to show you that as well. Kamala Harris says she wants another debate with Donald Trump. But I think she means Trump. I'm not sure. She will tell you who she's asking for a debate with. But and then we have 3 other clips of videos just to show you how stupid this woman is. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean. I can't think of a more appropriate term.
Yeah.
That there is no better, just what she's saying, how she's acting. On Friday, we're going to show you the video. If she's not drunk, she's on some drug or something, just like old Kamala that we've been used to seeing for so long. We're going to show you that, how she disrespected black journalists. I mean, it is insane. This is why African Americans at an all-time high, black people are voting for Donald Trump and becoming conservative at the fastest rate in the history of this country, because they realize that Democrats lie. Yeah. White Democrats and black Democrats will lie to them. And then Republicans who are elected aren't saying that they care, but Mike Johnson, was he asleep at the wheel again? Is he a rhino? He didn't do anything to get the SAVE Act in, and he had all the power to do so. He's kept the government running for the time being without forcing the SAVE Act in. And once again, the SAVE Act will explain what it is, but it's all about election integrity and registering. So lots to get to. We'll get into all of it right now. Whatever you guys want to talk about as well, jump in on the platform to let us know what you think about it. But right out of the gate, can we please start with Joe Biden? Joe Biden over the weekend, just check out what he did. This is Joe Biden, once again at a presser, just losing it with multiple leaders from multiple countries. Everybody knows the joke was in. The joke was on you, Americans. The joke was on all of us, but not all of us who were awake and calling for this man to step down, and he should still step down. Listen to him get confused, and then he gets angry, just showing us same old Joe stuff.
I want to thank you all for being here. And now, who am I introducing next?
Yeah, oh my God.
Oh, gosh.
Who's next?
Who's next?
Who's next? Gosh, darn it.
Look at this.
Distinguished guests, the Prime Minister of the Republic of India.
By the way,
Gosh, look at him.
he's from a small country like ours, with slow population, but he's become a good and decent man and a good friend.
Thank you.
Who's
That's why
next?
we're here today. I'm
Oh,
proud
my
to
God.
announce that the
Look at this
Quad
again.
Cancer Moonshot is what we're talking about. Our goal is to team up and cancer around the world, and starting with cervical cancer. I know it may sound unrealistic, but it's not. There are 4 countries, the leaders behind me, and many organizations.
Joe, is there any way to start that over and play it again?
$150 million for HPV.
Listen to him
HPV
again, get
screening
confused,
and therapeutics.
stumbling, bumbling idiot like he is. And there are Democrats who are stumbling,
Being
bumbling
here.
idiots themselves because they were voting for this man, telling us that he was even better. We're not mean. We're not uneducated people on the show. We're showing you facts. We're showing you the video every day that mainstream media won't show you.
I want to thank you all
listen
for
to that.
being here. And now, who am I introducing next?
Who am I introducing next? Oh my God.
Who's next?
Look at that.
Unbelievable.
This is the president.
Distinguished
Shocking.
guests, the Prime Minister of the Republic
Okay, we
of
can get out of
India.
that. But once again, people,
No class at all. The United States was hosting this forum, and Joe Biden doesn't even know who is coming up to speak next. It's embarrassing. I don't even know how they can depend on him to do any of these things anymore. And maybe that's why they don't have him do much of these things anymore.
they don't. You're exactly right.
But, for him to not even know who's coming up to speak next, but then just to act like that, he's just, if you're that tired, you're that cranky, you're not feeling well, you need to take another nap, whatever it is, figure it out before they put him up here on one of these podiums and just make a total jerk of himself and our country. I mean, this guy from India, he was just, of course he's going to laugh. I mean, he was probably like, oh,
but everybody
my
knows.
gosh.
But everybody knows what's going on around the country, just like we do. The only people who don't know are Democrats, and I still think most Democrats know what's going on.
Oh, they know.
But they hate Trump so bad they'll
That's
refuse.
right.
And this is what gets into the pride issue, which is what I talk about. There's so much pride in the Democratic Party that's evil sin. And by the way, it is the worst of any sin. It's pride. It is pride. And if you study your scripture, you'll see that's why Lucifer was thrown from heaven, because of his pride and vanity. And if there were 2 words to describe the Democratic Party, it is that. Acting as if they are something that they are not, on top of that. Oh, we care for people, but they don't. I mean, that guy,
Yeah.
that was the guy.
And the Democrats do know. They also know that Kamala Harris is just as bad as him, if not worse. But they are willing to do anything to keep Trump out. They are well aware that girl has, beans for brains. And they're just going to continue to pretend like they like her and like they've always liked her, and they've never liked her. And she's been, the worst liked and respected vice president of all time in our country.
Even her interview with Oprah was just crappy. It was bad. It did not put her. I mean, she had everything stacked for her, and it was still terrible.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, even Oprah, who's a shill.
Mhm.
Oprah's a piece of crap. She is. She's a liar. She's a fake. She's a phony. She's hurt several people. She's been tied to so many things. And then she comes out and tries to relive her show. I'm telling you right now, if Oprah did a show again, it would not be successful.
Yeah.
It wouldn't.
Oh,
I'm
I don't
telling you,
think
there's
so
no
either.
way.
I really don't.
People see through her now. They
Mhm.
see through all of the BS and everything else that she did, especially how she has been a complete shill, not journalist, for the Democratic Party. And she's lost her luster. Even Oprah couldn't produce good things for Kamala because Kamala is that bad.
I think Oprah was wishing that
Even Oprah was looking at her like,
Yes.
oh my God, I
oh.
made another bad decision because I'm a dumbass now. I mean, seriously.
I think that she was wishing that they could have gone over the questions beforehand, like Kamala's used to. Maybe they could have done a dress rehearsal of their own, gone over questions, talked about what their answers were going to be, because you can see that she was stunned a few times, like, oh gosh, I had no idea, like about the gun. when they were talking about her and Tim Walz having a gun and about, she says, anybody come in my house, I'm going to shoot them. And you could tell Oprah was like,
Paul said the look on
gosh.
Oprah's face, listening to all the word salad she gave was priceless.
Yeah.
It was. This is why Kamala's not going to win the election if it's done fairly. She has zero chance.
Yeah.
One of those word salads, listen to what Kamala said in that interview with Oprah, because we didn't do a show on Friday. Oprah had asked her about cost of living and how she's going to attack that. Because if you looked at the debate and you look at any time that Kamala is asked a question on policy, specific policy, not feelings and happy thoughts and la, 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 la. When she's asked a normal question that a normal politician, even at the city council level, should be able to answer, she can't. I wish that she was great and that we had two fantastic choices to choose from, but we don't. Listen to this answer. Oprah had just asked her about cost of living and how are you going to help Americans?
Important things that we actually care about.
We're an optimistic people. We are an optimistic people. Americans, by character, are people who have dreams and ambitions and aspirations. We believe in what is possible. We believe in what can be. And we believe in fighting for that. That's how we came into being. Because the people before us understood that one of the greatest expressions for the love of our country, one of the greatest expressions of patriotism is to fight for the ideals of who we are. We are an optimist.
Okay. Wow. There's not a Democrat on this planet who could come on this show and legitimately look us in our eyes and tell us that this woman is qualified to be president.
You got me croutons.
I mean, I'm still
salad.
With Biden. I don't laugh anymore. I used to laugh, and then I'm like, I hope the man gets everything that he deserves until he goes and meets his maker, because I know what's going to happen when he goes and meets his maker. And with Kamala, I'm still in that stage of laughing. Like, she's the dumbest box of rocks politician we've ever seen.
She truly is.
I mean, she is just flat out dumb.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because she picks the 10 words that she thinks are going to make her
God,
look really
we come across so mean, but she's dumb.
She is. And those words, the ambitions and dreams and aspirations and all of that, when you can put it in a context that we can understand, we might listen to you. But when you just start pulling those 10 words out, no matter what anybody asks you, she uses the same words. And she thinks that by using her hands, it's going to validate her. And it's just so crazy. She just looks
started to sound like her.
She just looks so, I mean, she does. She just looks absolutely nuts. And Donna, your point earlier, the Democrats made it very, very clear that they don't care about money. And Michelle Obama even made the statement about, her mama and her daddy, told her, to be suspicious of people that had that much money. Yet Kamala stays in a circle of people that all have loads and loads of money. And I guess that because they do have loads and loads of money, we're supposed to think that they know what they're talking about, or that they know how to lead our country, or that they know, policy, what's going to be best for the American people. But when you have money that's literally coming out of your ears, nose, and mouth, how are you supposed to relate to those of us who are in the middle class, truly in the middle class, even though Kamala likes to talk about it all the time, how she grew up a middle class kid? How are you supposed to be able to relate to us? How are you supposed to know what it's like to go out and pay double for bacon, eggs, gas, health insurance?
We can all be what we want to be in the stratosphere of my mind and the cloud. And from the chat line, Robert says, rumor is she was a big P. Diddy party girl back in the day.
Yep.
Wouldn't be surprised from that. And Greg said, come on, Vic, just say it. I'll say it. From Billy Madison, we are all now dumber for what we have just heard.
Yes, we are.
Kamala, you get an F. It sucked. She was dumb. Oh, but that's not it. Kamala, she outdid herself on Friday. People, please tell me what the hell is going on.
Well, and what I want to know is when Oprah, when she was telling Oprah about her and Tampon Timmy having a gun, and she straight up said, you come in my house, I'm going to shoot you. So, where's the gun control there? Where is it? Is it about gun control? Is it about if you're feeling like you're going to be hurt? Is it okay to use your gun to defend yourself? You could see Oprah. She just kind of cringed and she's like, I didn't know that. I mean, she didn't know what to do.
Yeah,
so it's okay for Kamala and Timmy to have, guns and to be
Oprah's
able to
still
defend
helping
themselves.
all those people in Maui, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure she's helping all those people. On Friday, Kamala was at another event. I want to know what she's on. I want to vote. Did she drink? So was she drunk? Did she take some sort of sedative?
Mm-hmm.
Did she what drug is she on?
Donna in chat says gummies.
She's on something, and I gotta tell you, just listen to your Democratic presidential nominee.
On the other side of my, the other folks, Trump and his running mate. And they'll talk about, but I do believe in the exception to save the mother's life.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, let's break that down, shall we? Let's break that down. Let's break that down.
Let's say it again.
On the other side of my, the other folks.
Today, Junior.
On the other side of my, the other folks, Trump and his running mate, and they'll talk about, but I do believe in the exception to save the mother's life. Okay, all right, let's break that down, shall we? Let's break that down. Let's break that down.
Let's break that down. Chris says she's drunk as fug.
Any person in that
Most
audience.
Most people on the chat line think it's alcohol. People, that is your nominee.
And those people in the audience should be ashamed for applauding her.
Democrats. Come here, Democrats. We're going to have a talk. Come here. Democrats. Megan knows, Joe knows, we all know that you know. But your pride is getting the best of you. And it's a shame, especially if you have children or family members, that you're going to continue to live this lie every day and look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that, you know what, I'm doing things the right way. Deal with it. You have Donald Trump syndrome, and Donald's not going anywhere. And you can lie, cheat, steal, do whatever you want, but we're going to call you out. And we're going to call you out here. We'll call you out wherever we need to. But this is sad. You know as well as I do. And just because local news and national news won't show you the stuff, we do. And that's why we kick ass on Cancel This, because we're about the facts, because we actually care about people. You have no ground, no leg to stand on, no nothing. This is sad. We'll welcome you over. We will. But you're going to have to get rid of your pride first and admit that you're following a failing, losing, abysmal piece of you-know-what who's lying to the American public trying to get this job. Okay.
Yes.
Now go back.
I thought that was really good. I loved that soapbox that you just offered for the mentally, unstable Democrats. But like you said, Vic, it's not too late for the Democrats to come over. It's not too late for you to dig down deep, find a little humility, get rid of the pride. Yes, find your humility and come over to the right side.
Yada, yada, yada.
You cannot look at this woman and say that you believe that truly that she is fit, competent, smart enough to lead our country. There is absolutely no way. And the people in that audience that were applauding her and egging her on to keep going and do the multiple voices. I mean, what is going on with her? I mean, that's something's not right with her. And so, but to keep, yes, applaud when she's talking like this over here. And then she's like, okay, my brothers and sisters over here. Yes. Hello.
What?
Okay. Well, that's all right. But yeah, I mean, you have to know that she's just not the person that we want or need or that should be running our country. And it's okay. And even if you want to continue to act like you're a Democrat, and even if you want to continue to act like you want to have her lead our country, it's okay to go into the ballot box and to do a little one of these and put the little Trump
a Democrat on the line.
Okay.
A Democrat in line, at least they're honest, says that they'd vote for a wooden table before they would ever vote for Donald Trump. And that shows you the TDS.
It is.
And that shows you that people just don't give a shit about this country. And that's fine.
And
that's your prerogative.
This.
But they're going to have to lie, cheat, steal bigger than they ever have to take Donald Trump out, because the numbers are trending big time for Donald. And I know that's driving these people absolutely insane. But the fakeness of Kamala's out there. Even Janet Jackson said in an interview over the weekend, she's like, I thought she was Indian.
Well, Janet
then
Jackson,
after they wrote the article, she tried to, everybody's like, oh my God. So then she's like, well, I didn't really know, but now I know she's a black woman. And it's like, no, Janet, you're smart. You're a damn good woman. Janet, be you. Speak truth. She's not black. They're trying to make her black. And this just goes to show how she played, how she was Indian. She wanted no part of her Jamaican culture until she got into politics. And then she tries to make it black. But that's why she's getting her ass kicked in regards to previous politicians when it comes to the black vote.
Yeah.
She's going to get her ass kicked. I mean, she is going to get her ass beat down when it comes to this election, when it comes to the African-American vote. She is going to get the lowest amount of African-American votes that any Democratic nominee has had in modern times. Mark my words. Save the tape, Joe. She will get the lowest amount. That's because the realness of the African-American people are starting to see through her, because they know she has nothing in common with them. Zero.
And,
Zero. Nada.
And like you guys are saying on the chat line right now, I mean, nobody is surprised that the libs will
I wish she was real, but she's not. It would give us another good candidate to try to decide from.
And she's not real. And she still is not even talking about policy to the American people. Even the Democrats are begging her and saying, you owe it to us to tell us where you really stand, because, we're not going to fall for this. You tell us one day, one thing, the next day you turn around and you say something else. There are some Democrats that truly do care about the well-being of our country. And they want to know, and they deserve to know. We all deserve to know. This woman wants to be the commander in chief of our country. We deserve to know where you really stand. We don't want a word salad, and we don't want your lies. It's lie after lie after lie. And how people can be okay with that, I truly, truly don't know. But, as Donald Trump says, our country is literally falling apart at the seams right now. And if another Democrat, if Kamala Harris gets in, we're gonna burn. I mean, we are truly gonna burn.
Glenn wanted us to make sure that everybody knew too from the chat line that Kamala's great grandfather, you can look it up, was also one of the largest slave owners in Jamaica.
Yes.
Hey, it's all about facts. We'll bring the facts first. Paul says, but on the other hand, Vic, miraculously, she's going to get the highest vote of illegal immigrants for our country as well. Yeah. We get it. We know what they're trying to do, and it goes there. But Kamala wasn't done from giving us. I mean, it's only been a couple days since we've been on air. And she gives us more. She is truly the female Joe Biden, the gift that keeps on giving when it comes to her embarrassments, her mess ups. And the Democrats who I know, they don't care, which shows why they're fake and phonies as well, because anybody that's a Republican or Democrat would want truth out so that everybody could make the right choice. Well, on the tarmac at the end of this weekend, Kamala walks up to the mic and says she wants to debate somebody. We'll let you listen and try to. Who is she talking about when she comes up and says what she says now? Once again, people, the gift that keeps on giving. Here's Kamala.
I've heard I would like another debate, so I'm hoping the former vice president will agree to that. But we have a lot more to discuss. I've heard I would like another debate, so I'm hoping the former vice president will agree to that.
People,
I think
who's the former vice president that she wants to debate?
Oh my gosh, this gal. I think I prefer her drunk. I really do.
She might have been there too.
Well, I don't think so, because she wasn't slurring.
But I know some functional alcoholics.
Words.
I know some functional alcoholics.
Well, I mean, she just does not disappoint. So either whether she's drunk, sober, whatever, she still makes zero sense.
Who is the former vice president that she wants to debate? Once again, she's just dumb.
Yes, she really truly is.
Is there any other word I could use? I don't know.
No, I mean, in like the literal sense of that word, dumb. I think that she shows up for that.
Who does she want to debate?
She doesn't. She really truly does not know. She just does whatever her handlers tell her to do. She says whatever they tell her to do, and then she throws in her 10 words.
Even Joe Biden was a better candidate than her 4 years ago.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I would agree with you.
This is the worst
I'm
Democratic nominee
for
president that we have ever seen. I mean, it's not even close. And we shouldn't be surprised because she was the worst vice president in the history of the country, had the lowest approval rating of any vice president in the history of the country. She never won anything. She never got the votes. She was passed along because she got in line because she was chosen.
Yeah. Well, and what makes me nervous, and I really do. I think it's important that we worry about things that are happening within our country, of course, economy being one, border being two. But what makes me nervous is when this woman will have to go and sit face to face and have truly, serious conversations with world leaders. I don't think she's up for it. I don't think that they could script her enough. I don't care if she had 8 teleprompters sitting right in front of her face. It makes me cringe thinking about her going and having real, true conversations with world leaders. I mean, how could anyone sit and have a conversation with her and take her serious? I mean, as soon as she walks out of the room, they probably turn around and they're like, load the missiles up, boys. I mean, look what, we can do anything we want, so we have to think about a lot of other issues too when we think about putting her up in charge and leading us. And it makes me,
well, guess
really
what?
Nervous.
That wasn't it. Not only is she lost, not only does she not know how to talk about policy, not only does she give us word salad, not only does she give us fake accents, not only does she show us that she doesn't have any sort of an idea on how to comprehend what basic policy is, she's also just flat out disrespectful.
Yeah,
and what she did to the 3 black journalists last week during her interview at the end of the week, we're going to see, we can tell you things and ask you to believe us. That's what most Democrats who do shows do. They'll just, believe us, trust our feelings. We're about feelings. We care about people. Really? Well, here, what we try to do, what we attempt to do is not only give you the feelings, but we show you the evidence. Most of the time, as you know what the show is, we give you evidence, video, written, and audio evidence, and we discuss it and we bring it out there. Here is more. Look what she does to these 3 black journalists at the end of the interview who are just left stunned like, oh, well, I guess she doesn't give a shit about us. Check it out. You decide for yourself what's happening here.
Bye.
Now watch the camera. They're like, what the hell? Look at the woman's face. Look at this. She's just like,
that's it.
Damn, she just like took off on us. Are you kidding me? And she was terrible during that answer session as well too. Look at the look on the journalist's face says it all. They all realize how just unqualified this woman is.
Completely unqualified, Vic.
Matthew says that video with the journalist was strange. I've never seen such rude and insincere handshakes. She couldn't wait to get the hell out of that room. I know. The journalist looks, Chris says, to each other, says it all. Once again, we can tell you what we feel, but we'd rather show you proof of things that are happening just because local news and national news won't cover it. And we do their job for them because there's nothing more important that they could be showing you on these broadcasts besides the security of our country and everything that hangs in the balance, which is why we do a much better job because we're showing you facts.
Well, and I think that all of these different journalists that continue to have her on and, whether it's the Oprahs or just, just the different mainstream media people, I think that they're hoping like, I'm going to be able to get her to say something that makes sense. It's going to be me. I'm going to be the one. I'm going to ask her in a way that she can comprehend in her 5th grade mind. And she's going to be able to say something that sounds half intelligent. It's going to be me. And then they get to the end of these, different interviews and they're just like, oh my gosh, what happened? I mean, this gal is just dumb as a box of rocks.
They know.
It's not going to, they're not going to be able to get her to say anything.
But that's why they're trying. But that's, oh, look, Taylor Swift, who's made a career out of making bad decisions and then making songs about her bad decisions. Oh, she's smart. Taylor's smart.
She's real
Taylor Smart has made bad decision after bad decision. And then she's told you about it. Yet they're going to bring her up. Oh, that's who you should listen to when it comes to voting. That's what they're. And then Jimmy Kimmel is now sending out ads to raise money for the Democratic Party.
Yep.
I mean, as unpopular as that guy is.
Yeah.
And just
they're desperate. They're desperate. They know.
That's how desperate the Democratic Party is.
Very.
We're trying to get star appeal now. And people, I hope you realize, Hollywood, they have nothing in common with us average people. They don't live the lives that we do. Yeah, that's who Democrats say, oh, we care about you. We care about the little man. Republicans are bad. It goes back to what Karl Marx was all about. Blame others for what you're doing too. Marxism, something that Kamala and her family knows far too much about. Blame others for what you are doing yourself. It's the same thing that ISIS was doing. Blame others for what you're trying to do yourself to gain attention and momentum for yourself and sympathy, maybe even some empathy at the same point in time. You just have to be smart enough to look through all the things, and that's what we try to do here. It's really
and
bad.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris still want to blame everything that they have been responsible for the last 4 years. They're still trying to blame Trump.
Have to.
Every single thing that has gone wrong in this country, they still want to try and convince people, that they're coming up and they're cleaning up Trump's mess. It's
have
like
a bad hair day. It's Trump's fault.
I mean, maybe the first couple months of your presidency, if you were going to be that ignorant to actually blame anything on Trump, maybe. But when you're 16 months into your presidency and inflation goes up to 9.1 and you want to blame Trump for that, and you expect the American people to believe this, it's crazy. They need to start, taking responsibility for the collapse of our economy, for welcoming all of these millions upon millions of people into our border and not being able to give the resources and not caring about the American people. It might sound all great and dandy and virtuous to all of these liberal, progressive, whatever you want to call them. Oh, welcome, open arms, newcomers, dreamers, new Americans, whatever you guys want to try and tell yourselves. But it's irresponsible and it's ignorant to have all of these people come into our country and not be able to take care of them. So now how are you virtuous when you're not even going to be able to take care of all these people that you're making empty promises to? You're breaking promises left and right. So not only are you, causing the American people to be in distress and not have what they need to have within their own communities, now you've just opened your arms to millions upon millions of people and put them in a worse situation in many occasions than they were coming from their own country. It's disgusting and it's disgraceful. And people should be ashamed of themselves when they say that we need to have an open border and that we are prepared to have these people to come here. We are not prepared. Our educational system is a broken down mess as it is. And now we have to come in and we have to hire more people just to teach these kids English, teach their parents, English, just so that they can survive. I'm all about survival and I'm all about wanting to help everybody, but you have to use your brains. You have to use some common sense when you're going to do these things. And it doesn't exist in the Kamala Harris party at all.
Also from the chat line, Matthew says it's also Sal Alinsky's rules for radicals. And if you don't know who Sal Alinsky is, look at him. Blame your opponent for doing exactly what you're doing. Blame your opponent for exactly what you're doing regarding what the Democrats are doing as well. You talk about blaming Trump. Sometimes you get yourself in trouble. Now, I'm not so sure that Tim Walz is any better when it comes to having a brain than Kamala Harris.
No.
We've shown you so much of him. I just don't get into vice president selections as much because they're not the main party. And when they get in office, we don't ever hear about them anymore. This guy over the weekend. This became a Trump ad really fast, and we'll show you the Trump ad. But here's Tim Walz blaming Trump for the last 4 years. Has Trump been president the last 4 years? This is what the Democrats do. Check this out.
Oopsie.
Can't afford We can't afford 4 more years of this. We can't afford.
What?
Mm-hmm.
We can't afford.
Smartest thing he's ever said.
4 more years of this. We can't
Listen
afford.
to him.
We can't afford 4 more years of this.
No, we can't. See?
We can't afford 4 more years of this.
Yeah.
4 more years of Harris Biden? Yeah, you're right. We finally agree on something, Tim. So if that wasn't good enough, the Trump team, who's done a terrific job when it comes to their campaign, turned this into an ad very quickly.
Can't afford 4 more years of this.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
We can't afford 4 more years of this.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Yeah. Smartest thing that the guy has ever said. This guy is just the epitome of a male airhead. But I think that he's also really, really dangerous. When he starts talking about all of the different things that he believes in, whether it's, abortion or transgender rights, or, you're not allowed to actually, when you come face to face with a child that wants to completely, mutilate their body, and you actually want to have a common sense conversation.
Good luck.
Well, no, what he's saying is that you are trying conversion therapy and that you need to be, taken away from your child or arrested, no matter who you are. So this guy is so sick in the head that he thinks that you are not supposed to have a conversation with a child that wants to mutilate their body because they have gender dysmorphia. You're supposed to just go along with it. He is so sick and twisted in so many ways. And I just wish.
Dangerous is what the chat line
he is
agrees
dangerous.
with you
I
about.
completely think that he is dangerous. Yes, he's strange. Yes, he's an airhead. But the things that scares me is that he really wants to push forward some things that are not good for our people and especially our children.
From the chat line, Matthew says Waltz and his wife. Oh, Lordy, that's more Marxist, Alinsky-esque projection. They called J.D. Vance weird. Have you seen Mr. and Mrs. Waltz together? Exactly. J.D. Vance is one of the finest people to speak and seek this nation's second highest office.
Yeah.
Berna says, Vic, that's why we should be concerned about the VP because of what he could do in that position.
Yeah.
Worst VP candidate ever from Glenn. Yeah, pretty much. And then Donna says, you can't drive until you're 16. You can't drink until you're 21, but you can make a decision to mutilate your body. Good luck. By the way, this is cancelthisshow.com. We're here Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, 9 to 10 a.m. or so. Vic Faust, Megan Marie Moret, Projo in the house. We appreciate you guys jumping in. Also, check out all of our social media sites because we're live every day. We produce new content and we put it out there every day. Heck, we had a reel on TikTok just last week. It's over almost 105,000 views already. So what we're doing, it's resonating. And we're grateful for that because we put so much time into this. We care and we appreciate you showing up. And that's why we do what we do. So thank you for all of the support and continue to like, subscribe, share the show because people need to know.
Yes,
people need to know. We're not here talking to waste time. We're here to try to help other people. And of course, learn from you the same way that we're trying as well. There was some good news regarding Trump over the weekend. The Muslim mayor of Hamtramck. Let me tell you something about Hamtramck, Michigan, because I used to spend a lot of time there doing news stories when I worked in Detroit. Hamtramck is as Muslim as it gets. And their mayor supported not Kamala Harris over the weekend. Their mayor came out in support of Donald Trump. Once again, Amir Ghalib, the Democratic mayor of Hamtramck, endorsed Donald Trump. He says that he will, quote, end the wars in the Middle East, and he is a man of principle. This is a Democrat mayor in Hamtramck who will now be under attack by the progressive left for speaking truth. Yeah, this is unprecedented to have a Muslim mayor, come out and support Donald Trump in the midst of an election, saying that he's the guy that's going to stop wars in the Middle East, not Kamala Harris. I couldn't think of a higher endorsement for Donald Trump, especially when you see some of the things that are happening now with Israel, dropping some bombs and rockets in Lebanon, and for a variety of reasons, as they protect themselves from any more attacks like we saw October 7th. So Democrat mayor going and supporting publicly Donald Trump. That's huge.
It is huge. And I don't know if it took what's happening in the Middle East for a leader of this stature to come forward and actually, endorse Donald Trump. I don't know if he's seeing, the backlash in his own community here in the United States. I'm not sure what exactly it is, but whatever it is, it's smart. It's the right decision. And I hope that more, whether you're Jewish or Muslim, I hope that you see that Donald Trump's going to be the guy that's going to come in and put a kibosh on all of this. He's going to come in and he's going to start, making his deals again, just like he had, in the 4 years that he was in office. This crap was not happening around the world. Why? Because they respect him. They fear him. They know that he means business. They know that he has nothing to lose. He has everything that he needs. He comes forward and he's like, look, this is how we're going to do things. And if you don't like it, you're going to pay and watch what happens. So now we've got all of these leaders around the world that, are basically they're at a playground right now. They're doing everything that they want to do because they know that Big Brother, the United States of America, we have a sleeping president. And then we have his vice president that's, busy tossing up word salads left and right. So they're going to do and take advantage of this time that they have right now until Trump gets back in. And, who knows how much worse it's going to get. But we need to get Trump back in so that he can stop all of this madness.
I love seeing people wake up and not be afraid.
Yeah.
And
too.
Donald Trump is not exactly somebody who the Muslim community says, oh, we love.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? There's two things. You can love somebody or think they're fun and like to be around them. And you can respect somebody. And you may not like the person that you respect for whatever reason, but damn well you respect them.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, the Muslim community, by and large, respects Donald Trump because they freaking know that he means business, that he's a badass negotiator, that there were no wars when he was president, and he's coming back for a reason. And a lot of times communities or minority groups, they see because they know who is real and who isn't. And they know that Donald Trump could be sitting on a beach somewhere having a great life. Instead, he has put himself literally in the line of fire.
Yes.
On multiple occasions, literally, to try to save America. People see through that stuff, just like the African-American community is seeing through it. Donald's not a fake. He's not a phony. And it's not just him. It's his entire family who are there fighting for this country. And it's day after day, month after month now as we approach the election. And to have a Muslim in a bit, I mean, I know many people may not understand this, but this is as Muslim as it gets in Hamtramck to come out and in a swing state of all places, in Michigan, with a horrible left-leaning progressive governor, and a secretary of state and an attorney general who are trying to recreate laws. This is big. It's very, very big, especially in that state.
Yeah. And speaking of Donald Trump being in the line of fire, did you see that Ryan Ruth, the guy that was going to try and take him out last week, he goes to court today to see if he can make bail.
Yeah,
so you hear things like this, and I was like, what do you mean? Like, why is that even an option? Of course, the judge is going to say absolutely not, because he's obviously a huge flight risk. But just how things work, that this guy even has an opportunity to go in and just can I make bail? Of course you can't. This guy more than once, I guarantee, showed up where Trump was and tried the exact same thing that he did last week. So if there's one, this is just one of probably who knows how many mentally ill, unstable people that want to take Trump out. And yet he keeps going. He keeps doing rallies. He keeps going and living his life and literally taking bullets for us. Well, so if that doesn't go to show.
Yeah, we got it. I mean, we already know we have to have Trump back in office, and then we'll deal with the House and the Senate. Another big story that came up over the weekend, the government shutting down, that was averted. Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, I still can't figure him out, but I told people from day one, I think it was me and Laura Loomer, of course I'm going to prop myself up with Laura, said, be careful of Mike Johnson. Yeah. Now, I'm torn on this issue. The SAVE Act was done away with. If you don't know what the SAVE Act is, all it was proving who you are when registering to vote. That's it. And he couldn't even get that in. He could not get that in the House. Think about this, people. Republicans did not put this in. So as much as we want Donald Trump, as we have complained about Republicans and rhinos and everybody else, this was a small thing. That's a big thing that should have been included, that could have been included to not keep the government shut down. But then Mike Johnson says now is not the time to fight for that because we're so close to an election. I understand that. But the fact that Republicans didn't push that through.
That's right.
Wake up. Wake up. This is a big, big freaking deal. And that's another reason why I don't have a lot of respect for Mike Johnson. And I haven't had respect from him from day one because I said it didn't pass the eye test. It didn't pass everything. How he came into power and what he has done. And by the way, he's still a hardcore Ukraine supporter of giving more and more money to Ukraine. It just rubbed me the wrong way because the SAVE Act should have been there, especially when we're trying to fight against all the illegals that are here doing all kinds of illegal activity. And it includes voting. I'm just grateful that Donald Trump on Friday said that anybody who votes illegally and they go and they will do prison time. He said they're going to jail. That's what Trump said. And that's exactly where every illegal should be already for coming into this country illegal. The name illegal means they're breaking a law.
Right. And, I was kind of on the fence with this one, though, Vic. And, I think for the listeners to break this down for you, if you don't quite understand what we're talking about, it's actually really simple. Mike Johnson wanted a plan that would give 6 months extension. So basically to not shut our government down right before an election, to put a 6-month extension on it and require proof of citizenship to vote. It sounds like normal, right? It sounds common sense, yet the House rejected it. He could not get this through. So you've got people on the left, of course, but people on the right as well that would not pass this legislation through. Why? No one knows. But you've got people like Chuck Schumer, you talk about, just being out in left field. This guy has absolutely no touch on reality whatsoever. But you've got someone like him saying, no, you know what? We don't have time for this.
Yeah, but they should have passed it in the House and they didn't.
They should have. But, you've got someone like Chuck Schumer that's saying, you just do it. Just do it. Just do this, this short amount of time, make sure that we don't have a government shutdown before the election and we'll worry about everything else later on down the road. No, it's a sneak attack. And Trump.
The sneaky snake.
Yeah, he's ticked.
Mike Johnson, you're weak and your time has proven to be that you're weak and you've proven to be no better than who you replaced.
Yeah.
You haven't. You have not been any better than who you've replaced. And Jay from the chat line says fake ass conservatives. Yeah, and I'm calling them out because we're tired of the rhinos. We're tired of the BS that sits there and waits, especially if Trump wins. Then what is he going to have to deal with? Because we already know that there's fakes and there's phonies there that have come in as Republican and name onlys. And it's a real deal. And you're not wrong for saying that or calling it out. But Mike Johnson, you have to play on a different level, man. Or you're part of the other team.
Well, yeah, you have to be willing to come forward and say, okay, fine. You
know
what?
Shows me he's too often part of the other team and he doesn't care. He's bringing the little, hey, water guns to the machine gun fight.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
He's getting embarrassed on a daily basis. And I hate to say that I told you so. Look out for Mike Johnson. But and Trump wanted this, by the way.
Yeah.
Trump said, let's get this done.
Yeah.
Because it's affecting his election. And Mike Johnson still couldn't get it done because, once again, be careful of who you're working with and who you think is on your team.
That's right.
Because we're seeing this, which is embarrassing. Story we had to get to, too, when it comes to everything that's going on with illegals. We've talked about this several times, and it frustrates the hell out of me. St. Louis police officer David Lee, 18-year veteran, married with kids, was killed yesterday as he was on, I believe it was Highway 70, trying to help another car, an accident that already occurred when he was hit by a car coming down the road. Yeah. We're talking about a 24-year-old who reports say had previously been arrested for a domestic assault case and a DWI already. He stayed at the scene and they found out he had been arrested already and that he was illegal at his last arrest. They found out that he was an illegal person.
Yeah.
I had another source friend of mine tell me that he's heard he's from Honduras. He's here illegally. And now he just took the life of a legal person, a cop, an officer serving our country on duty with a wife and kids. And once again, it should have never happened. But this is the Biden-Harris America they want for you. Oh, let in all the illegals. They're all great people. No, they're effing not. I don't care if 90% of them are great. We have law and order for a reason to try to keep out the bad apples as best as possible. And don't tell me the bullshit. Oh, well, it happens with regular people too. Doesn't matter. This is an illegal that should have never been here.
Yep.
Talk to David's wife and kids now that he's gone, because you're allowing 10 to 20 million illegals here because you're trying to steal an election. And then you have these Democrats. And I'm sorry, it's very, 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 very important to me that you have Democrats who try to go out and say, oh, let's let all the illegals in. They're good people. And they'll be mum on this because they're cowards. Yep. And I'll tell it to their face that they're cowards when we have Americans losing their lives, being assaulted, raped, and everything else because illegals are here doing whatever the freak they want and they shouldn't be here. And it has nothing to do if anything else has happened with crimes. They should not be here in the first place. Trump will take care of it. Kamala will allow more of it.
That's right. And why? Because they want to have these people come in and not be forced to register to vote. They don't care. They want as many bodies here for the votes. They don't care about their welfare or about their children's safety or if they're getting fed or they're getting the right health care. They don't care about any of that. They want numbers. They want bodies. Otherwise, they would be doing more to help these people. They would be doing more to serve in these communities and make sure that these people are getting everything that they need. And besides that, they would also be in these communities, in these, these cities where, they're showing up literally by the hundreds of thousands and making sure that the Americans there, making sure that they have what they need before they, try to make sure that these illegal people have what they need. It's like they're working backwards. And people are suffering because of it. I mean, these communities, they are not equipped to house this many people. And so they're just not doing their part. They're not being responsible. They are literally it's like, just opening up the floodgates and not having any way at all to regulate anything. And this is what we're going to be seeing. And they like to say Kamala's, since I took over the border, I'm the border czar. We've had the least amount of illegals come into our country, less than when Donald Trump was in office.
Lie, cheat, steal, Megan.
Oh,
all lies.
It is just such a blatant lie. I mean, just blatant lie after lie after lie. I can't even handle it. I just, it just makes me sick. And there are people that actually believe this until it happens in your community and your neighborhood, until you live in the Springfield, Ohio's, or the Aurora, Colorado's. And then you wake up and you're like, oh man, like this, it's here. I mean, it's happening. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And we don't live in a perfect world. Otherwise we would wave a magic wand and everyone would just be hunky dory, have what they needed, and life would be grand. And guess what? It's
and that's not life.
Work like that. No,
and that's not life.
No, it's not at all. So if anybody has, if any of you wonderful Democrats, have any great ideas for how we're supposed to, keep enduring this, let us know, because I'd like to see what you're doing. I'd like to see what you're doing in your community. I'd like to see how many illegals you're housing in your home, and welcoming these newcomers. I'd like to see, financially what you're giving to help these cities, be able to, prosper and, get above poverty line. And I have a feeling that there's not going to be one single person that's going to come forward with something like that, because it's too common sense.
It is. And even Vivek Ramaswamy saying that Republicans need to be very careful and continue to answer who they are, because he says most Americans agree with the conservative values, the conservative policies. And you can't sit back and let the Democrats continue to lie, because you already know that they own the media. It's state-run media, and it has been. And I know, and I can speak to it because I was part of it. I saw it. I fought against it. And I saw what happens on a daily basis, even from the local news standpoint, where you don't get the fair side of everything. I've talked about several times where I had a gentleman who decided stories with me who refused to allow me to cover all the sides of COVID. There is an action that you see going on, and it's more obvious than ever. Obvious, just like the refs in the NFL with the Kansas City Chiefs, as I showed you. You saw it again last night. The Chiefs get another call late in the game to determine the game. And it's happening in a government standpoint, and that's why we're going to continue to do what we do. And we appreciate all the support that we get from everybody here, and we're going to continue to do that as well. People who support us, like Complete Auto Body Repair. We're the best locations, one of the best companies you can go to when it comes to car repair, from your front bumper to your back bumper, from A to Z, including the tires. I take my cars there. They get you in, they get you out. They don't nickel dime you. It is the place to go. Call them at 314-731-7999. That's 314-731-7999. Or email them at completeab.com. Also, let them know that you appreciate them advertising with Cancel This. We have several of our listeners and people who go there. If they're in the St. Louis metropolitan area, they go to one of those 5 locations. They also sell cars, and if that's not it, they have tons of job openings as well. Terrific company because they do so much. They also own towing companies. Check out Complete Auto Body Repair. Then you go to our friend David Gregory, the conservative injury attorney. He literally goes by his website, conservativeinjurylawyer.com. Anything when it comes to personal injury. I've used him twice when I got hit twice. Guess who else is using him these days? Joe. Joe was hit again last week. Oh, I know. Thankfully, Joe is healthy. There's nobody better than taking care of this than David Gregory. He excels, and there's a reason why other people who might have a bigger name, they promote, and then guess who they go hire to do their jobs? David Gregory. Also, Dave was 7 for 7 for people keeping their jobs because they didn't want to get that poke in their arm. Remember that whole pandemic deal? Yeah. Dave took care of that as well. Cars, trucks, when it comes to motorcycles, anything from that standpoint, workers' comp issues, or give Dave a call, 314-619-4230, and let him know that you heard about him on Cancel This, and he's going to knock off, I think, about 5% of what his company would normally get, and he's going to make sure you get that back as a bigger settlement as well. Also, Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley and Defiance, Missouri. One of the best menus you're going to find. I'm not kidding, all around with food. You want to talk about their food menu? My gosh, it'll take you 5 minutes to at least go through everything, if that, the first time. And 7 or 8 different items that I hear people say is their favorite all the time, from the wings to the pizza to the smoked meats. It's all damn good, and it's a great time. The service is amazing, and they're people who care. And guess what? They care about this show, and they have supported this show from the get-go, talking about Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley and in Defiance. But we'll let you know. You have to check if they're open today. They had a water main break yesterday on a Sunday. The entire parking lot looked like Lake Winty's.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they got that taken care of. There was still some water there this morning, though. Also, if you're grilling, there's no better place to grill than with Rockwood Charcoal. Missouri hardwood Rockwood Charcoal. It is real. It breaks apart in your hand. Jonathan is also a big supporter of conservative causes here. You can get it at Ace Hardware. That's where he would appreciate it, all over the country. And let him know again, of course, if you send him an email, that you appreciate it. He also owns Capriati Sandwich Shop, one of the coolest, just best ingredient sandwich shops that you're going to find anywhere in Rock Hill. If you're in the Rock Hill area or where else, check out their catering as well. Their catering's fantastic. What they do there, they use the Wagyu beef. They also roast turkeys overnight. They slice them and dice them in the morning for their sandwiches all throughout the day. Check out Capriati's. And we saw rates get cut a little bit last week. Will it affect housing? Maybe. Give Megan a call. Megan Livingstone, 314-249-1708. Everything when it comes to realty these days. You can also email her, megan.livingstone@exprealty.com. When it comes to a positive approach, when it comes to a realistic approach, but putting a plan together that you stay to, so you're not up and down and all around, because we know how the industry can be these days. Use somebody who's been selling those homes throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. That's Megan Livingstone. All right, this is cancelthisshow.com. Vic Faust, Megan Marie Moret, Projo in the house as well. Projo, did we get to everything, or did we leave some other videos out there? I can't remember.
We got it all.
We did. We got to everything already.
Everything.
Damn, we did it. Damn, we did it. Hey, you were in University of Indiana over the weekend.
Yes.
Any political talk come up? Any things that you see? I'm curious.
You know, actually, I'm glad that you asked. I was going to talk to you about this after, but I met this young girl that is absolutely, she was so impressive to me. She's political science, and we had this long talk, and it was so funny because she didn't, of course, want to to come out, and say, I'm a conservative, because, they just, especially the younger generation, they are so afraid that it's going to affect their job opportunities moving forward that they don't even want to even kind of let out. Well, anyway, it ends up that, that she's a conservative, and I asked her why. And I want to have this girl on. The points that she made as a sophomore in college was huge and eye-opening for me as an adult. She gets it. And she made the argument for both sides of why we should not have someone, like Kamala Harris or Joe Biden for that matter, and why we need someone like Donald Trump in. And if there was one highlight of my weekend besides seeing my son, it was meeting a young person that actually gets it.
Damn. And was she a student at the University of Indiana?
Actually, she's a student at Miami of Ohio. They're visiting her boyfriend. She's good friends with your son's girlfriend. They're besties. And yes,
didn't even know that.
Small world.
There you go.
But no, so it was great. But that was really the only political talk. I didn't get to jump on my son's roommate this trip. He's a liberal, raised a liberal. We usually get to have some nice long chats, but we didn't this weekend. But I actually like this kid too. He's just,
I saw a lot of Trump signs at the University of Missouri. I was there on Saturday with my son for a game day football recruiting visit. Yeah. Saw lots of Trump signs. No recruiting or no conservative talk over the weekend though.
Yeah.
No political talk. It was football. Didn't run into anybody else from that standpoint. At Mass yesterday, the head pastor was wearing a hat that said "Vote Jesus 2024." He's like, do your research when it comes to politics, but just remember that no party is going to get you to heaven.
Yes.
The only way you're getting to heaven is Jesus. And he was wearing a Trump.
Jesus first, Trump second.
I almost said, is that a Trump? I was like, it looked like the Trump logo though.
Yeah.
I was like, that almost looks like a Trump logo.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, we're just going to say it was. We'll just go with it.
No, so that was good. I like to see that. And Glenn says, MIZZOU.
Yes.
All right, guys, we appreciate you jumping in. We'll be back tomorrow at 9:00. Please like, subscribe, share the show. And remember, if you have anything and you want to donate to what we do, we'd be grateful. Anything helps. Literally, there's a donation page. It's on, you can use it from your phone. You can do it from your laptop. Or if you know of advertising companies or companies looking to advertise, let us know. We'll do something from that standpoint, or anybody that wants to get behind what we're doing so we can do more of it. We are grateful. Vic at cancelthisshow.com. Once again, Vic at cancelthisshow.com. Hope you guys have a great day. That does it for the fastest
Happy Monday
hour in podcasting for Projo and Megan Marie Moret. I'm Vic Faust. Have an awesome day.